to you? Well, to me, I think that everyone judges people. I mean, am I wrong? But stereotyping is a different type of judgment, a type that involves race, religion, and or appearance. This is another step up from just judging or looking at someone as you see them walk across the parking lot, at McDonald's, or even at school. I hear stereotypical jokes or stereotypical things that someone says every single day, considering my school is very diverse. I remember this one time this kid asked this girl that was right by me, said, "Oh, you're better at her than volleyball since you're Caucasian." I said, "That's not true. Just because she's Caucasian doesn't mean that I can't be just as good as her. Doesn't mean that I can't play above her. I can be the same level of skills as her." I was wondering, why would they ask that? What made them think of that? I remember this other time this kid said, "Why don't you go play soccer since you're Hispanic?" to one of my friends. While anyone could play soccer, I mean, am I wrong? You could be African American, Caucasian, Hispanic, Asian, it doesn't matter. Everyone can play soccer. We shouldn't judge someone just by on their race, religion, or ethnicity. That's not what life's about. If we have an open heart and look at someone and we judge them by who they are and not by their looks, we'll get to know them and know more about them. Not just stereotyping people on what they look like. Let's stop stereotyping people and get to know them. Let's make the change. Thank you.
Stereotypes. Back then, people only saw color. This was mostly happening to the darks. They were getting judged and mistreated. Nowadays, people judge others what they hear about their race. For example, some people think all or most Muslims are terrorists, that all Hispanics are immigrants, and that all blacks will rob you and are in gangs, or Asians can't drive. But it's not just them. Even white people are judged. When I was listing those reasons why people are being judged, I bet you thought it was a white person giving that certain race, an ugly look. But that's the way they're judged. Whenever we think of racist people, we always think of Caucasians. Have an open heart and get to know them before you can justify who they are.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Leopold and I'm here to talk about discrimination. Discrimination is the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race or age. Discrimination has been throughout the world for as long as mankind has lived. Discrimination can come in different levels of pain. Some pain can be caused by hurtful words and other pain can be caused by physical violence. Discrimination can even go as far as to someone committing suicide. Every year, per every population of 100,000 people, 1,369.2 black males and 895.6 white males commit suicide because of discrimination. 20% of every 100 million people in a population get affected by discrimination. There are many types of discrimination, such as religious, direct, age, race, or gender. Direct discrimination is the most common around the world because there are many people that can treat someone differently just because of certain characteristics that they possess. Discrimination most likely takes place in workplaces. About 42% of women in the United States say that they face discrimination on their job because of their gender. Research in July 11th through August 10, 2017 shows that women are 3 times as likely to get discriminated during work than men. The research was mainly asking about discrimination during a workplace, and more women said that they've experienced it during work than men. Since many women are saying this, the EEOC, which is a federal government, is enforcing strict laws to stop the discrimination in workplaces. I have also experienced discrimination by my teacher while I was in my kindergarten year because I couldn't speak English. Kindergarten has been my first year at a new school because we had recently moved to New Jersey. Every single day, my parents picked me up from school and they asked me how my day was, and I couldn't respond because I came out crying. The teacher always ripped up my papers and screamed at me for no reason. At first, I didn't notice this unjust treatment, but after time passed, I realized that she never yelled at anyone else but me, and that was because I couldn't speak English. My brother always received this mistreatment from his English teacher because she was always screaming at him for no reason, and my brother also came out crying from school. My parents were able to stop all of this by talking with the principal, and they saved me from repeating my kindergarten year, saved my brother from moving on without being able to speak English. So my message to you is that you should get help whenever discrimination happens, and to remember what Zendaya said, let's practice motivation and love, not discrimination and hate.
What does stereotype mean to you? Well, to me, it's when your brain allows yourself to make a judgment based on someone's visual appearance, such as their gender, race, or even their own age. So many thoughts can happen in someone's head just by making one little comment based on how they look. We can stop this by standing up for one another instead of just letting it happen or walk by it. I mean, I would know because I do it. Many people don't really think about how this can affect someone, but imagine yourself being judged on how you were born or how you were raised, or just your looks in general, because you probably have. It doesn't really feel right if you're in someone's shoes that's being judged just by their looks. But we mostly feel like hurt inside, but we can't say anything because that's how we were born and we know it's true. But most people don't feel this way because most of them don't get judged on their looks. If you don't want to be stereotyped, then don't do it because it will happen to you eventually one day.
There's an understanding in our society that relationships are only meant for man and woman to be together. And for those who do not abide by that are disgusted or sinners. There are people who fall in love with another who are the same gender as they are, but they're scared. They're scared to be rejected by those they care for or by those of our society. To love someone should have nothing to do with your gender at all. All that matters is loyalty, respect, and the unconditional love and care you give the other. When it comes to it, coming out should not have to be so hard on a person. The only reason a child is scared or stresses over this because they were told that it's wrong or that if you're gay, there was something wrong with you and you had to be fixed. And if not that, you were thrown out. Now, there are some people and families out there who see no problem. The only thing that may change are a couple rules of who you can and cannot have over. They listen and accept who you are. They tell you their half and how they love you and how that it's okay and it's not a problem. I was thinking, if I ever went to a school dance in high school, I would knock on the door, or the door would be knocked on and a girl would be there, a beautiful, beautiful girl. I would not tell my parents because what is the difference? We are still in love. It's happiness, is it not? I'm happy. There's nothing wrong with saying gender love. It's just that people see things that they don't want and they can't accept it. And it's called change in this world. Can't handle it.
No, she doesn't have.
Homophobic people. Homophobic is where people show their dislike of homosexual people. People who are homophobic express it in many different ways. It can be some sort of bullying when it comes to it. But then again, there's people who are homophobic and just dislike the fact that this person is homosexual. I saw this video on YouTube that was uploaded, and it says, what happens when a homophobic person meets with a homosexual? The video consisted of questions that homophobic people answered. One of the questions were, why are you homophobic? The answers were reasonable, like they were common, but it may come off offensive to some people. You're going to get conceivably lost in this giant web of mystery that goes into people's minds. The answers were like, because I don't like it when a girl or a boy gets together with the same gender. Homosexual people didn't take it offensively, and they accepted their opinions on it. But one answer caught my attention, and I found out about it not long ago. This person said that I'm homophobic because it is against their religion. This answer got me the most in many ways, because I didn't think a religion would do something about being homosexual. Just remember, it's okay to be homophobic, it's just that half of the people in this world are also homosexual. But it's okay, just don't do anything wrong with it.